For this second lecture, I will give some overview about soil. How soils are formed. Okay, so basically, soils are the resultant of the interaction of several factors, including uh, the climate, the parent material, the relief, which is the landform, and also a topography, and also the organisms here, which is a vegetation, fauna, and soil biota, and all acting through time. These factors affect major ecosystem processes such as primary production, decomposition, and nutrient cycling, which led to the development of ecosystem properties unique to the soil type given its previous history. The abiotic and abiotic factors noted above led to certain chemical changes down through the top few decimeters of soil. In many soils, particularly in more basic or moist regions of the world, there is leaching and redeposition of minerals and nutrients, often accompanied by a distinct color change. Thus, as one descends through the profile from the air litter surface, one passes through the litter, which is the leaf litter right here, the fermentation also can be called as a O horizon, then reaching the mineral soil surface, which contains the preponderant amount of organic matter, which is in the A horizon. The work of the soil ecologists is made somewhat easier by the fact that the top 10 to 15 centimeter of the A horizon and the L, F, and H horizons contain the majority of plant roots, microbes, and fauna. Hence, a majority of biological chemical activities occurs in this layer. The upper portion of the A horizon here, right, is termed the topsoil and under conditions of a cultivation. The upper 12 to 25 centimeters is called the plough layer or furrow slice. This is followed by the horizon of maximum leaching or eluviation of silicate clays, ferrum, and also some oxide from known as the E horizons. The B horizon next with deeper dwelling organisms and somewhat weathered material. This is followed by the C horizon, the unconsolidated mineral material above bedrock. The soil includes the A, E, and B horizons plus some of the cemented layer of the C horizons. All these horizons are part of the regolith, the material that overlies bedrock. You can find more details in further readings. Historically, in terms of soil texture, the soil texture was a term used to describe the workability of an agriculture soil. A heavy clay soil required more effort in terms of to till than a lighter sandy loam. A more quantifiable approach is to characterize soils in terms of the sand, silt, and clay present, which are ranged on a spectrum of light, intermediate, heavy, or sandy silt clay. The array of textural classes shows here in terms of percentages of sand, silt, and clay, and the resulting soil types such as sandy, loamy, or clayey soils. So this diagram has been used to define or to determine the texture of the soil in a certain area. So for instance here, how to define what is the textural name of a soil if it contains 20% of clay, 70% of silt, and 10% of sand. First, you look at the diagonal of clay, which is the 20%. Okay, you look at the all in the triangle. First, you look at the diagonal clay, which is at 20%, and then look at the silt, which is the 70%, and also then the uh, the sand. Okay, the first clay, silt, and then the sand. The overlap of this diagram here, okay, overlap of this diagram here will determine the texture of soil of the area. And for this situation, or for this area of soil texture is the silt loam. Next is about the soil structure. Okay, structure refers to the ways in which soil particles are rearranged for grouped for groups in terms of spatial grouping. Okay, the groupings may occur at any size level on a continuum from either extreme of what non-structural states as single grain, such as loose sand grains, or massive aggregates of aggregates. So it can kind of like large irregular solid. So soil structures is determined by how individual soil granules uh, and therefore the arrangement of soil pores between them. So soil structure has a major influence on water and biological movement, okay, biological activity, root growth, and also this the seedling emergence. Okay, so therefore in terms of soil ecology or soil management, understanding about the soil structure is important, especially when you talk about soil ecology in agro ecosystem, where I will basically will focus a lot during this course. The implication of soil structure refers to only to the particles, but also extend to the pore spaces within the structure, as I noted earlier. Indeed, it is the nature of the porosity that exists in a well-structured soil uh, that leads to the most viable communities within it. This in turn has strong implications for ecosystem management, particularly for agroecosystems. Okay, when we talk about agroecosystem, we'll talk about agriculture, planting stuff. Okay, in crop system. These questions on how soil impact the agroecosystem will pop up here and there across this course. So, of course, everybody be ready. In terms of soil functions, how soil functions? Okay, the physical properties of the soil are the production of continual interactions between soil biota and their abiotic partners. The capabilities for nutrient retention important for primary producers in all soils. These are affected by both mineral content and soil organic matter, with organic matter usually having the higher number of exchange sites. The aggregate structure of soil is biologically mediated in many soil types. Soils play major roles in both recycling matter and nutrients, as well as being important sources and sinks of global greenhouse gases. It is apparent that soil ecology is being considered much more centrally in ecological studies and in ecosystem management as well. So finally, I hope you guys can discuss among yourselves about the major function of soil uh, to us as a human. And as of for this course, I will focus on soil as habitat for soil organisms, a medium for plant growth, and also the recycling nutrients.